war and shit going on, this is what happened in the stock market, right? So you see the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is 500 of the biggest companies in America, right? S&P 500 was down minus 3.58%. Then we got the NASDAQ down minus 2%. Then the Dow Jones was down minus 4.94%. Then we got the Russell 2000 down minus 5.78%. Gold was down, right? Minus 3.96%. Silver tanked, minus 13%. Look at Bitcoin. Look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin decided to show up and be and do what Bitcoin is designed to do during times of chaos. Man, round of applause for Bitcoin, man. Round of applause for BTC. Round of applause for BTC. You feel me? Plus 8%. In times of war, in times of uncertainty, they didn't flock to gold. They didn't flock to silver. They didn't flock to the S&P 500, right? They didn't flock to the NASDAQ. They didn't flock to the Dow Jones, not the Russell 2000. Bitcoin. So we have Bitcoin block height. It's higher than this, right? It's higher than this because, you know, the Bitcoin time clock doesn't stop for nobody. But if you look over here to the left-hand side where my cursor is, we have hit 20 million Bitcoin. That is 95.24% of all the Bitcoins that will ever exist have been mined, right? Out of 21 million, 20 million, the 20th million Bitcoin was mined last week, right? I forgot. I gotta look it up. How much time? Hold on, I'll tell you. I'll tell you till the 757 days. We got 757 days until the next halving, right? So we had 95% of all Bitcoin that will be mined, have been mined. It is in somebody's wallet, right? It's in Michael Saylor's wallet. It is in it's somewhere, right? It's been mined and people are holding it, right? Until the year 2140. So the 1 million Bitcoin that is left is going to take over 114 years to mine that remaining 1 million Bitcoin, right? So total Bitcoin in existence at the time of the screenshot, obviously it's more than this, right? Because I took this screenshot when we hit that 20 million. But, you know, the Bitcoin, the block doesn't stop, so it keeps going. So Bitcoin left to be mined, it's under 1 million now. It's no longer 1 million. It's actually under 1 million. It's under 1 million. You know? So this actually shows you that me giving away them sats is even crazier. Because it's not like I'm not aware of what I'm doing. I'm clearly aware of what I'm doing. I'm clearly aware of the scarcity, right? But I'm still showing up, giving part of something that a lot of you guys don't have. And I'm like, here, take it, right? So I said it here. It took 6,267 days to mine 20 million Bitcoin. The next 1 million won't be mined for another 114 years. Do you see that? Are you getting the point? You getting the point? Bitcoin total supply progress. Look, this is how much we mined. 20 million. This is how much is left. The 20 million Bitcoin that was mined took 6,267 days, right? That is like 17 years, right? 17 years to mine 20 million and 114 years to mine 1 million. Supply shock, supply and demand. You get it? 6, 7. Supply shock. Man, type 21 if you picking up what I'm putting down, man. There's nothing better than this. There's nothing greater than this. There's nothing bigger than this. There's no opportunity bigger than this. This is something that nobody can take away from you. This is your way out. This is the promised land for you. And we are so super duper early, right? So as Bitcoiners, you be thinking, oh, everybody knows what you know. No, they don't. Go outside of Bitcoin Twitter, right? Go outside of Bitcoin Twitter and go have a conversation with a regular person. They're going to be like, what are you talking about? Right? 97% of the population don't know what the fuck is going on. So even though you think you are late, you are super early. Please type in chart, I'm super early. Type in the chat, I'm super early. Type in the chat, I am super early. Because you think you're late. You think you're late, but you are ahead of 98% of people. They don't know what the fuck is going on. They have no clue. By the time they get ready to buy Bitcoin is going to be at like $1.52 million. We are super early. So this was the celebration of 20 million Bitcoin mined, right? Super early. However, there are people who have seen the light. Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy has seen the light, and they are accumulating Bitcoin like crazy, right? 450 Bitcoins are mined a day. Michael Saylor is buying about 2,000 a day. So you have to ask yourself, where is he getting the 2,000 from? If they're only they're only mining 450 a day. If they mine 450 a day, they don't put their entire 450 on the market, right? Miners may keep it, whatever. So where's Michael Saylor getting this from? Michael Saylor is purchasing it from people who may have bought it early, who may have bought it at 10K, who may have bought it at $10, who may have bought it at $20,000, who may have bought it at $2,000, and he is buying it from somebody, right? Because you can only buy it from somebody who already got it. You cannot go and create more. That's the beauty of it. So you have to understand there are people like Michael Saylor, there are companies like MicroStrategy that is trying to amass as much Bitcoin as possible, and they got more bread than you and me, right? So you have to do your part to get as much as you can in the next 2, 3, 4 years, because they're not making more. You can already see how long it's going to take. So last week, right? We getting into the extracting, right? Because remember, I'm not just here talking about Bitcoin, right? Because we need money to buy the Bitcoin. You need cash to buy the Bitcoin. You need dollars, you need euros, you need to have a skill, you need a 9 to 5, you need to go provide value to the marketplace And in exchange of the value, in exchange of your skill set, you get dollars, you get euros, you get nairas, right? You get Swiss francs, you get pesos. Then you take those pesos or the naira or the shillings, then you go buy Bitcoin. But if you don't have money, everything I'm talking about here is like, okay, bro, I get it. But how do I get more Bitcoin? This is where the trading comes in. You feel me? This is where you can learn the things that I'm going to show you. This is just week 1. We go in 52 weeks. By the time you hit graduation, light bulb is going to come on. You're going to be like, fuck it. I got it. Right? Because it's a system. This shit is a system. And that's why I made it my job to get the extract the knowledge, to steal the game from Wall Street and bring it to my folks, to bring it to people who may never know this, or bring it to people who may never have enough money to pay to know this. You feel me? So what is the VIX? The VIX is the volatility index, right? That is the fear and greed index of the market. The VIX measures whether the market is in fear or it's not, right? It's a scale. It's a scale. So when there's war, when there's COVID, when there's uncertainty, when there's fear, the gauge goes up. And when the gauge goes up, people become afraid and they sell their assets. So you can use the VIX as a gauge to see what is going on. And you ask yourself, what side of the market do you want to be on? Right? So VIX goes from 0 to 100, right? When the VIX hit 20 to 30, it stays there for several months, right? VIX at 30 and 40 will last approximately 1 to 3 months, okay? Then you got VIX from 40 to 60 last only about a month. One week to 4 weeks, that's the max, right? When VIX hit 60 to 80, it will not last for 2 weeks, right? Then VIX above 80, 1 to 3 days. So when the VIX hit on Monday, Sunday night, VIX hit 35, I immediately posted this on Twitter, on Instagram, in my Discord, and I said VIX has hit this level. So that means that this is time for you to capitalize and buy good companies at a cheap price. Because when there's fear in the market, everybody starts to offload their Apple shares, offload their Microsoft shares, sell their Nvidia shares, right? And if you understand this here, that is when you start to buy the discount. Type 21 if you picking up what I'm putting down, man. You thought we were here to play? This is a full-blown course. Do you guys understand that this is a full-blown course? And by the time we get to week 52, your life is gonna fucking change. Regardless of where you are right now, regardless of how you look now, regardless of how much money you got in your pocket right now, regardless of how dumb you are right now, you're going to be super smart. You're going to be super confident. You're going to be super knowledgeable. You're going to be super skillful. Y'all learning? Am I cooking or am I cooking? Let me know in the chat if I'm cooking. Because I think I'm doing a little something, but we still going. I think I'm doing a little something, but we still going. So the next day, so let's go back. So look, when I posted this is real time, by the way. When I posted this, VIX was at 35 actually, right? But when the market opened, it came down to 31. And then look at what happened. So the VIX and the S&P 500, they are inversely correlated, right? So the VIX goes up, SPY goes down. When the VIX comes down, SPY goes up, right? What that means is when the VIX is coming down, it means that the fear is dissipated. The fear is disappearing. People are no longer afraid. They are becoming confident. So when they start becoming confident, the stocks, the Apple, the Nvidia, the Microsoft, the Amazons, right? The TSMs, the whatever that you bought starts to go up. So if you knew this, between Sunday and Monday, you could have made a lot of money. And we actually did. And I'm going to show you the proof of receipts, right? Because there's a science to this shit. It is not luck. You got to know, you got to have the skill, you got to position yourself and execute. Wait and then only strike when the shit is hot, right? So I posted this as well. VIX buy ladder cheat code, right? So if you watching the market, right? You watching the market, you don't go in all at once. So VIX hits 25. When there's fear, you start to buy. You don't wait until the fear is disappearing, then you start buying. That would defy the whole purpose, right? When the fear is starting, fear hits 25, you buy a little bit. Fear hits 30, you buy some more. Deploy, so you deploy 20%. Then it goes up. That means there's more fear. They bombing some more, right? People are more afraid. Be fearful when others are greedy. Warren Buffett said that. Be greedy when others are fearful. So when the fear is increasing, that is when you buy more. It's backwards, but it works, right? You don't want to go with the crowd. When the crowd is going this way, you go that way. When everybody's like, oh, Apple, I'm selling, you buying. When they panicking, you buying. Same shit happened during COVID. When folks was chasing and buying toilet paper and getting vaccines and doing all kinds of shit and being afraid and hoarding sanitizers, smart people were buying the stocks that were on a dip. You capitalize on the fear. You turn panic into profit. Type 21 if we cooking over here, man. Type 21 if we cooking over here, man. The fuck you thought I was just gonna show up here and just distribute sats? Nah, you gonna get this work. You gonna get this work. You gonna get this work. So you don't guess the bottom. You let the panic fill your orders. You get rich from people who don't know the game. You get rich from people who don't understand the game. You get rich from people who don't have a system. So this is Bitcoin, how major asset classes have performed since 2020, right? So if you look at gold, gold did 24% in 2020. In 2021, it was minus 4%. 2022, barely breaking even. 2023, 12%. 2024, 26%. 2025, I don't have that one. But if you look at Bitcoin, the Bitcoin numbers, it's insane, right? Look at Bitcoin. You can look at emerging stocks. You can look at bonds. You can look at cash. So if you're storing your money in cash, you're not doing anything. Because look at cash. Look at cash over here. Look at U.S. cash, right? Look at U.S. cash over here. 2020. This is break-even numbers, right? Look at the NASDAQ. Look at commodities. Look at U.S. large caps, right? Look at REITs. But look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is insane. Now in 2026, it's down, right? But when Bitcoin goes down, remember, be fearful when others greedy when they are fearful. That is the way it works. So if you put it all together, when an asset that has been the best performing asset in its existence goes on a dip, you buy. You don't become afraid, right? So there's a system to this. So look at 2013. 2013, Bitcoin was the best performing asset class compared to the S&P, the Dow Jones, U.S. high yield corporate bonds, right? Look at all of that. So look at 2023, right? 2013, Bitcoin over here. All right. Over here, Bitcoin did 5,500%. And then the year after, it dropped down, right? So when it dropped down, Bitcoin was the worst performing asset class. The year after, it was the best performing asset class, right? There's a pattern to this. And then afterwards, the year after it was the worst performing asset class, it jumped to the best performing asset class. 2015, 16, 17. And right after 17, it dropped. The worst performing asset class for that year, minus 73%, right? Then in 2019, came back up. Best performing asset class in 19, best performing asset class in 2020, best performing asset class in 2021, then it dropped, became worse, right? So there's a pattern to it. Up, down, up, 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 down, up, 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 down. And it actually did it 23, 24, 25. It almost closed 25, but it didn't, right? But the pattern is still intact. Nothing has really changed. So when you see Bitcoin is down, which right now is one of the worst, which means the pattern is still intact, which means that 3 years afterwards, you're gonna make money the same way in 2014. It was down 58%. Then you had 3 years where you got rich if you knew what the fuck you were doing. Type 21 if you picking up what I'm putting down, man. Type 21 if you picking up what I'm putting down. Do you guys see where we're going? Do you get it? Do you see where we're going? Because I'm cooking here, right? You see where we're going. You see how when you have this information and you sharpen your knife. Because you got to know this first. You got to see the possibilities, right? Then you go learn the skill set so that you can capitalize on the possibilities. Because if you know all of this shit and you have no money, then it's going to come pass you by. And you just going to sit there like, damn, bro. Damn, I wish I could have done something, right? Ain't no wishing here. We taking action. So whenever Bitcoin is at the bottom, right? When Bitcoin is at the bottom and gold is having a better year than Bitcoin, that is where you capitalize, because the next 3 years, it goes berserk. It goes crazy, right? Again, 2013, it was at the top. It dropped to the bottom. It didn't drop halfway. I want you to understand that. It didn't drop halfway. It dropped all the way to the bottom. It was the worst. So Bitcoin doesn't know how to be lukewarm, right? Bitcoin doesn't know how to stay in the middle. Bitcoin is either going to be the best or the worst. Ain't no middle ground. It's going to be the loser of the year or the winner of the year, right? And that happened in 2014. It was the loser of the year. But when it comes back, boom, boom, boom. 37%, 119%, 1,300%, right? Then it dropped massively, okay? But if you position yourself at the bottom, where you want to position yourself is at the bottom, not the top. At the bottom, not the top. So 2018, when Bitcoin was down at the bottom, this is where you take action so that in 19, 20, 21, you're making so much money because you bought everything at a dip. This is when you position in the stock. This is when you buy the MicroStrategy over here. You buy MicroStrategy in 2014 and cash out 15, 16, 17. You buy MicroStrategy 2018, cash out 19, 20, 21. You buy MicroStrategy 22 at the bottom, cash out 23, 24, 25. So guess when you buy MicroStrategy again? Type the date. Let me know if you're paying attention. Just pretend there was up 3 years of when would you buy MicroStrategy again? Because right now Bitcoin is down at the bottom. 2026. Thank you. It's a science to this shit. It's a science to this shit. It's a science to this shit. You don't want to be buying up here. You want to be buying down here. Right? You want to be buying down here. Right? Down here. I think I'm dropping too much game, man. Y'all think I should just end it now? I think y'all got enough, man. Let me know, did y'all get enough? Did y'all get enough? I think y'all got enough, man. Too much sauce, man. Too much sauce. Keep going. All right, say less. Let's go. So this brings us back to this chart here, right? Do you have money? Do you have money? If you don't have money, we talked about this last week. If you have money, you go buy Bitcoin. Do you have money? No. Then the next logical question is, do you have a job? If you have a job, then cool. Steady Bitcoin and buy Bitcoin. Do you have money? Yes, but not for Bitcoin. That means you don't understand Bitcoin. Steady Bitcoin, because once you understand Bitcoin, once you understand money, you're gonna buy Bitcoin, right? Do you have money? No. Do you have a job? No. Then go find yourself a job so that you can steady Bitcoin, so that you can have money to buy Bitcoin. There's no way around this, right? Go get a job or go study a skill. Go have a skill. Go learn something. Go learn how to trade. Go provide value. While you providing the value, steady Bitcoin and then buy Bitcoin. Let's go. So, Uber, the world's largest taxi company, has no vehicles, right? Facebook, the world's most popular media owner, creates no content, right? Uber don't own no cars. Facebook don't do shit, right? Alibaba, the most valuable retailer has no inventory, right? And then we got Airbnb, world's largest accommodation provider, has no real estate. This is all the people, right? The people make these companies. You feel me? But the people don't have their own money. So if the people made Uber, Uber is the company, but the people make the company money because the people are using their cars and they provided a service, right? Facebook, same thing. They provided a platform. Alibaba, the same thing. Airbnb, the same thing. But the people don't own their own money, right? This is the evolution of a car, right? 1900, this is how the car looked. 1940, it got an upgrade. 1970, upgraded some more. 1980, 1990, 2000, 2005, 2010, 2020, now we're in 2026. So everything is getting an upgrade except money, right? Everything has gone through facelifts except money. That is the natural evolution. That is the natural step, right? Everything has changed. The way we do things, the way we communicate, everything evolves. So now we are here. We went from seashells. We went from calories. We went from gold to cash to the credit card. This is where we are. It's the natural evolution. And this is the money of the people. This is a peer-to-peer currency. This is the first time that the people own their own shit and control their own shit, and there's no middleman. There's no Uber to capitalize on the people. There's no Airbnb to say, hey, I'm the company, you go use your shit. There's no Facebook to capitalize on us. This is for us, by us. Type 21 if you're picking up what I'm putting down, man. Type 21 if you picking up the source. You picking up the source, type 21. 21. Let me know if you're learning. Let me know if you're learning. We ain't here to joke, man. This is a whole show. This is a whole show, man. All right, let's keep it going. So we are not here for crypto. This is Bitcoin, not crypto, right? Type in the chat, Bitcoin, not crypto. Please type in the chat, Bitcoin, not crypto. Bitcoin, not crypto. Somebody said Bitcoinium said higher learning. We ain't joking. We ain't fooling around here. We ain't wasting time here. This is Bitcoin, not crypto, right? And why Bitcoin, not crypto? Let me show you why Bitcoin, not crypto. I posted this, as you can see, the date, right? Look at the top over here. What date do you see? The date at the top here is October 17, 2022, right? 2022. So October 17, 2022, the entire market cap of the cryptos, October 17, 2022, I posted this, right? Which was from 2018. So in 2018, the entire market cap of all the shit coins and Bitcoin was 517 billion, right? Now look, Bitcoin was $10,000. Today, Bitcoin is $70,000. But let's look at Ethereum. In 2018, Ethereum was $1,000. In 2026, Ethereum today, this is a screenshot from today. I literally took it right before I got on here, right? So if you put $10,000 in Ethereum in 18 and you didn't do anything at all, your $10,000 has turned to $20,000, right? If you put $10,000 in Bitcoin and you did nothing, your $10,000 has turned into $70,000. Because let's say this was one Bitcoin, right? One Bitcoin was 10K. The same one Bitcoin is now 70K. One Ethereum was 1,000. The same Ethereum is 2,000. Look at XRP. One XRP was $1.18. The same XRP is $1.39. So what is the opportunity cost? You get what I'm saying? What is the opportunity cost if you decided to put your money in Ethereum instead of Bitcoin? You would have lost. What is the opportunity cost of not putting your money in Bitcoin if you put your money in XRP? You would have lost. Because one is pure money, the other ones are speculation. The other ones are shit coins, right? And they are not sustainable. They may pump, then they drop. So shit coins is for trading. You trade that shit, and then you take the bread, then you stack you stack it in Bitcoin. That is the nature of the game. So when you hear people talking about, oh, but XRP is going to do this, Ethereum is going to do this, and this and that. Exactly. They don't do shit without Bitcoin. They only move when Bitcoin moves, right? So if you look over here, you will see from the chat over here, the chart over here, Bitcoin was down 6.71%. Ethereum was down 6%. XRP, Ripple was down 13%. Bitcoin Cash 7%. But look, if you put your money, you just focus on Bitcoin and said, listen, I'm going to save my money. That same one Bitcoin is now worth 7 times what you put your money in. This is 5 years ago. I want you to understand something clear here. I mean, not 5 years ago, 2019, so like 7 years ago. It's like 7 years ago, right? So in 2009, I posted this in real time in 2019 when Bitcoin was actually at 7K, right? So I've been doing this for a really long time. So I'm not one of those newbies that just came up and just trying to sound like they've been about this. I've been about this, right? And now I'm trying to put you on game so that you can actually be about it too in real life, in real time. So in 2019, I said this. One Bitcoin was 0.003 in 2009. 10 years later, same one Bitcoin is 7,000. Guess what? The same one Bitcoin is what? Man, type in the chat. I'm trying to tell you something. Type in the chat. I'm trying to put you on game. It went from 7,000 to 70,000. Another 10 years from now, you're going to be looking at 700,000. And you sitting here thinking, what? You sitting here thinking you're late? You sitting here thinking you can't do it? You want to buy it at 700K or do you want to buy it at 7K? You want to buy it at 70K or would you have loved to buy it at 7K when I was posting it December 2019? So there's a saying that you buy Bitcoin at a price you deserve. You buy Bitcoin at a price where you finally understand money, right? So as you can see from this same screenshot, this isn't somebody's screenshot. This is me. This is me posting it. This is from my memories on Instagram, Facebook, reminded me right? 10 years before I posted it, it was 0.03. When I posted it, it was 7,000. Now it's 70,000. So another, and it went from the 6 or 7 years that I posted it, it 10x, right? So let's say another 10 years from now, it's gonna 10x. It goes to 700, 800K. You are sitting here thinking about what? You waiting for what? You waiting for it to go down a little bit more? Are you retarded? Are you crazy? This is equivalent to saying in 2019, you saw it at 7,200 and you like, yeah, let me wait until it goes to 6K. Who cares? Do you think it would have mattered to you whether you bought it at 6K or 6,900 or 6,200? You wouldn't give a damn. You would have loved to buy it at 10K because it's still at 70K. So do not wait. Don't sit here and be like, oh, it's a 70K. I'm going to wait until it goes to 65. That is the same equivalent. It doesn't matter. The joint is going to 700K. The joint is going to go to 800K, 900K, 1 million, right? Exactly. So we're going to get to a point where it would never, once it hits like 600, 700K, it would never come down to 70K. You will wish you got it at 70K. The same way you're wishing and drooling and hoping and dreaming that you will one day get it at 7K, and it would never get there. This is me again, right? I said 7 years ago, this was 2017 by the way, right? So tell me, type the date. I want you guys to see the date. I want you guys to see the date. What is the date? What is the date? Type the date where the red arrow is pointing. I want you to type the date. Type the date. I want to make sure you are following. December 2019, right? So December 2019, I bought a whole Bitcoin, right? And I bought the Bitcoin, and as you can see, I was down minus $10,000. I was down minus $10,000 because I bought it at 16K. Bro, I bought it at 16K. At 16K, it came all the way down, minus 63%. So that's 16K. At the time of that screenshot, the Bitcoin was worth 6K. Now you would still love to buy Bitcoin at the 16K that I bought it at. And it dropped, right? So when it dropped to 6K, guess what you would love to do now? Buy more and not wait and say, oh, it's at 6K. Let me see if it goes to 5K. Who cares? You've been buying at 16K. It's now at 6K. What are you waiting for? Well, let me see if it'll drop 200 more, 500 more. You bought Bitcoin at 16, 20K. It's up 70K now. So this is how I leverage shit, right? This is how I trade shit coins to stack Bitcoin, right? I flipped 1K to 80K on Luna, and I said I would do it again in 2025. But 2025 didn't go that way, but I think 2029 we gonna catch it, right? So back in the day, right, I spent 1,000, as you can see, right? 1,000. And this is what I do. Take that 1,000, put it into, you trade it, right? Because like I said, Bitcoin is long-term. So we trade in shit coins or stocks or whatever. The goal is to use our scale of trading to extract bread from the crypto market, the stock market, the Forex market, and park it in Bitcoin, right? So think about it. That amount of money that I bought, if Bitcoin was a 10,000, how many Bitcoins would I buy with this? Yep, that was before the crash. How many Bitcoins would I buy with this? So if Bitcoin is a 10 grand and you take 1,000 and that 1,000 turns into 80K and you take the 80K and you buy Bitcoin, now that is 8 Bitcoins, right? 8 times 70,000, that's 560,000. So essentially, you made 560,000 from 1K. Am I right or am I right? That is the math. Because it didn't cost you 560. You took 1K and you flipped it to 80K. Then you take the 80K, then you buy Bitcoin and you leave it alone. So that's the same thing I'm talking about with MicroStrategy. Same thing I'm talking about with all these other setups, right? You take your 10K, the 10K goes, you turn it into 600K. You take the 600K and let's say you buy 6 Bitcoin at 100K a pop. Now you got 6 Bitcoin. You feel me? All right. So this is the date. What date do I have at the bottom here? We ain't even done. We ain't even close. But I guess I'm gonna speed it up a little bit. But tell me the date we have at the bottom, because I posted this on Twitter. Tell me the date we have at the bottom. Did Bitcoin hit 100K? Did Bitcoin not go to 126K? So over here, I said during the 2013 bull market, Bitcoin rallied for 6 straight weeks before it experienced any significant pullback, right? During the 2017 bull market, Bitcoin rallied for 8 straight weeks before experiencing a deeper pullback. During the 2021 bull market, Bitcoin rallied for 4 weeks straight before experiencing any significant pullback, right? In this current cycle, Bitcoin has rallied for 2 weeks straight without any significant pullback. 100K BTC before 2025. We did hit it. Right? So there's a math to it. And I want you to understand this is something that I've been doing, something I've been studying. So please, my word is very, very valuable, right? Been preaching the same thing for years. February 7, 2018, I said I'm hodling. I ain't selling. I'm not fucking leaving. So when you pull up here, you're not talking to somebody who is watching YouTube videos, COVID traders, picked up a book here and there, got on Twitter, and is just starting to tell you some shit that they did not live. I've been that dude. I've been in there. I'd have made money. I'd have lost money. I have done all the shit. I done tried the shitcoin route. I done bought all of them. I done participated in ICOs. I bought Binance Coin at ICO. All right? So this is how you play the game. Like I said, in one day. This was one day. Back in the day. Right? So if you know what you're doing, you can do the same shit with MicroStrategy. You can do the same shit with some of these shit coins if you align yourself properly at the right time. This was one day gain. $330,000. How many Bitcoins can you buy if Bitcoin was a 10K? So take the shit coins, let it pop, take that money, put it in Bitcoin, rinse, repeat. Why am I doing this? Because nobody did it for me. Nobody gave me the game, right? Let's keep it going. Knowledge and understanding. So basically, we just started. I mean, if you guys are tired, we could postpone. If you guys are tired, let me know in the chat. If you tired, we could do it some other time. But we just warming up. I got so much. I gotta give away the game, man. It is so much game. I gotta give away the game because I be feeling like the game is just sitting there and dying. If you tired, let me know. All right, let's go. So knowledge and understanding is key, right? We're gonna go over some rules. We just started, like I said, the nature of the game. Do not lose money. We're not here to lose money. Rule number 2. Do not forget rule number 1, right? Rule number 3, if you can't make money with $500, putting up more money won't make a damn difference. Rule number 4, scared money don't make no money. Y'all picking up this game? Scared money don't make no money. So again, rule number 1, don't lose money. Don't be doing shit you're not comfortable with. Don't be doing shit you don't know. Don't be doing shit you don't understand. Rule number 2, don't forget rule number 1, right? That's straightforward. Rule number 3, if you can't make money with 200, 500, 900, 800, putting out more money is not going to make a damn difference. Rule number 4, scared money don't make no money. Rule number 5, a winner is just a loser who tried one more time, so don't give up. Rule number 6, patience is a virtue. Practice it. Rule number 7, nobody ever lost money by taking profits, right? So when the market blesses you, take some profits. Because I done took $1,200 to 800K and round trip to 100K, right? Let me say that again. I took 1,000, flipped it to 800K, did not take profit. I ended up taking profit at 100K. I round tripped. Even though I made money, it was hurtful. So when the market pays you, take profit. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about your excuses. Nobody cares about where you are. Nobody cares about what happened to you. Work harder, work smarter, tap in, and you have no excuse because you got somebody here who is giving you the game and you're not paying nothing, right? So nobody cares about your sad stories, all right? Trading is not about being right or wrong. Trading is simply a game of probabilities. Hope is not a strategy. Prayers will not help you, right? Again, number 10, hope is not a strategy and prayers will not help you in the market. In the market, when you pray, nobody listens to you in the market. In real life, you can stay in your delusion. It's okay because real life, nobody questions anything. In the market, in a decentralized world, in Bitcoining, prayers don't work and hope is not a strategy. So either you have a plan and you stick to your plan or you're not going to make shit. Don't come into the market where you're fucked up beliefs and think somebody is going to listen to you. Nobody listens to you in the market, right? There are 5 fundamental truths of trading. So now we get it in the bag. Who is ready? Who is ready? Drop some emojis. We get it in the bag. That was just introduction, man. The introduction alone took like 2 hours. You see what I'm saying? Imagine, man, let me ask you, how much are people charging for these type of masterclasses? How much are people charging for these type of masterclasses? How much are these gurus charging for this type of game? They ain't even on this game. How much are these gurus charging? 5 racks, easy. And they don't even have the experience. Let's keep it going. There are 5 fundamental rules of trading, right? Anything can happen. Rule number 1, anything can happen. Rule number 2, you don't need to know what's going to happen in order for you to make money. Rule number 3, There's the random distribution between winners and losers for any given set of variables that define an edge, right? Rule number 4, an edge is nothing more than an indication of a higher probability of one thing happening over another. That is all what an edge is, right? Rule number 5, every moment in the market is unique. So you want to remember these fundamental truths of trading. This is like the gospel of trading. If you understand this and make this part of your trading philosophy, you're going to be good. If you believe anything outside of this, you are fucked before you start. You with me? If I say capiche, you say capache. Are you with me? Rule number 1, anything can happen, which means anything can happen. Trump can tweet, the market can do this, the market can do that. There's no certainty in the market. Rule number 2, you don't need to know what's going to happen in order to make money. Just be prepared, right? Have an edge. What is an edge? An edge is nothing more than an indication of one thing happening over another. There's a higher probability. It's a coin flip. That's all it is. Rule number 5, every moment in the market is unique. Every moment in the market is made up of so many different people, right? So just because the market did this, it doesn't mean it's going to do exactly this next time, right? Do not trade in anything you don't understand, right? But that is why I'm here holding your hand, so that you don't fuck up, because I did, and a lot of people did. Do not trade with money you can't afford to lose, and do not overtrade. Y'all with me? Why do you think most traders fail? We are 2 hours in. I think we're going to be here for like 4 hours, man. Why do you think most traders fail? Type in the chat. Why do you think most traders fail? Risk management. Okay. What else? Greed. Degenerates. Taking too much risk. Okay. So boom. Here's the essence of what trading is, right? Trading is a tug of war. This is what trading is. It's a tug of war. We are trying to see which side has more motion, which side has more momentum, right? So in the market, we got the bulls and the bears. The bears are bearish, right? They are pessimistic. They think the market is going down. The bulls are optimistic. The bulls are buyers. The bears are sellers, right? So at any given time, you're trying to figure out which side of these two has more momentum. If the bulls are in momentum, if they are stronger, if they got more motion, then they win. That means you want to be on the side. That means you want to buy, right? On the other side, if there are more sellers than buyers, then the market is going to drop. If there are more buyers than sellers, then the market is going to pop. And if the market is going to pop, your goal as a trader is to be on the side that is winning. That's all there is to it, right? This is what every market is made up of. Buyers and sellers. Bulls versus bears, right? So we say in the market, are you bullish? Bullish means you think the market is going up. Bearish means you think the market is going down. And then there are tools and strategies and candles that you can use, right, to determine or to make a guesstimate of what is likely going to happen, right? What is the probability? So you're studying patterns to show you what is likely going to happen when X happens, right? So bears are sellers. There are people who think the price is going down. Bulls are buyers. People who are optimistic about a stock, optimistic about a coin, optimistic about Bitcoin, right? So if you have more people optimistic about Bitcoin going up, then it's going to shift the market up. But if there's more pessimists in the market, if there are more sellers than buyers, then they're going to pull the market down. That is all there is to it. All there is to it. Are you picking it up? You with me? You with me? I'm trying to talk a little faster. Otherwise, I can do this all day. I could do this all day. You with me? Let me know if you with me so far. We are talking about the basics, right? We're talking basics. You with me? Yes? So, these are trading stats, right? 1% of traders, only 1% of all traders profit net of fees. Only 7% remain after 5 years. 80% of traders quit within the first 2 years. 40% of trades, 40% only trade for 1 month. All traders start with the dream to get rich. So this is how the trading expectation look, right? People come in and everybody comes in like, yeah, I'm going to trade. I'm sure there's a lot of people here who think they're going to become rich in the next 3 years, right? But the truth of the matter is only 40% trade for 1 month. So in 1 month, 40% will be gone. 80% will quit, which means 80% of you guys will not make no money from MicroStrategy. 80% of you guys will not stay for the whole course. Only 7% will remain after 5 years. This is just a fact. So in the beginning, you show up and you are optimistic and you're like, yeah, we gonna do this, bro. I got it. 1 month later, you start making excuses already. 1 month later, your trade don't go your way. You start crying. You start bitching. You start giving up. You start whining like a little sissy, right? Can't you continue later? The hell is you talking about? Continue later. You better go take go get some 5-hour energy or something. You think we're gonna make an exception for you? Is you crazy? If you got something better to do, go do it, but you're gonna miss out. Is this guy crazy? Man, get this guy out of here. You think we're gonna make an exception for you? We here cooking, man. If you can't stand the heat, get the fuck out of the kitchen, man. We talking millions of dollars and you trying to go sleep. Is you crazy? You better go on. It's 2 a.m. You crazy as hell, man. The fuck? You think I have nothing better to do? Oh, you kidding? All right. So, he kidding. He's just joking, man. He's just joking. So, the odds of making it in trading, right, is no different than getting drafted to the NFL, right? What are the odds of getting drafted to the NFL? In the U.S., there are just over 1 million players at the high school level. Of those, 73K make it to the NCAA level, representing just 7.3% of the talent pool. At any one time, just over 16K are draft eligible, right? Which is only 1.6% of college players' pool. And then only 259 players will be drafted. It is the same odds. So the question is, are you locked in? Are you practicing? Are you acting like an wannabe NFL player? Because in the beginning, majority of people think they're gonna make it. 2 years from now, I'm gonna make money from MicroStrategy and Bitcoin and STRC and this and that. But the fact of the matter is only a handful of people are going to make it, right? And it depends on how locked in you are, how committed you are, how much you're showing up, right? Statistics on day trading. Like I said, day traders lost a fantastic 1.14 billion during the pandemic. A whopping 97% of day traders lose money in less than a year. Less than 1% of day traders are consistently profitable. So don't let the fake gurus and the Twitter screenshots fool you. Majority of these people are capped. They're not making any money. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. So unless you believe that 1% of the day traders who make it are the day traders on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok, you are getting bamboozled, right? This is a game where 97, 98% of people fail in the first year. Risk reward. Do you know what that is? So in the market, you want to know what your risk reward is, right? In the market, you have to understand what risk reward is. What is that? That is how much you're risking for the biscuit, right? How much you're putting on the line to make this. Like I showed you with the other screenshot, I have put up 1K to make 80K. That is a crazy reward to risk, right? Risk reward is a measure of the prospective reward an investor can earn for every dollar they risk on an investment. So if you are about to get into a trade or an investment, you have to look at the risk reward. If you're risking 100 to make 100, it's not worth it. If you're risking 100 to make at least 200, 300, 400, 500, then that is worth the risk, right? So you shouldn't be risking 100 to make 50. You shouldn't be risking 100 to make 20. You feel me? This is the risk reward and win rate, right? So at a 1-to-1, if you're risking 1 to make 1, you have to win 60% to be profitable. If you are at a 2-to-1 risk reward, right, at 40% win rate, you become profitable. If you are risking 100 to make 300, you just need to win 30% of the time. If you are risking 100 to make 400, you just, even at 20%, you break even, right? If you are risking 100 to make 500, you're profitable at 20%. You just need to win 20% of your trades. So you want to get in high probability setups, high probability trades, asymmetrical trades, where you're risking a small amount or an amount smaller relative to what you will make if it goes your way. You guys with me? Let me know in the chat if you're with me so far. Let me know in the chat. You with me so far? So you don't want to be doing 1-to-1, because at 1-to-1, you have to win so much. You have to do so many trades. Your win rate got to be really high. If you are doing a 5-to-1, you don't need to have a high win rate. You can have a small win rate. Win 20% of the time and you're still profitable, right? 30% of the time, you're still profitable. 40% of the time, you're still profitable. So you can lose more than you win and still walk away with money. But 5-to-1 risk rewards don't just show up every day. That means you have to wait, right? There are different types of traders, right? So as a newbie, you have to learn what type of trader you are. So we got scalpers. Scalpers are people who get in the market and they are in and out, right? In and out in minutes. Then we got day traders. Day trading, by definition, is any trade that you buy, right, and you sell within the same day. So if you open a trade and you close it within the same day, you are considered a day trader, or you day traded. A scalper is somebody who is buying and selling, 2 minutes. They buy, then they sell it. Then they buy, then they sell. Then they buy, then they sell. So a scalper may do 20 trades in a day. A day trader may do 1 trade or 2 trades, right? So if you buy and you close the same day, it's considered day trading. Then you have swing trading. By definition, if you buy today and you close it tomorrow, that is considered a swing trade. So long as you didn't buy and close it the same day, it's not a day trade. It's considered a swing trade. A swing trade can take days to weeks, right? Then you have position traders. Position traders are trades that you are buying and holding it for months or years, right? Or you huddle it. You buying and you holding it for months, right? You buy it in January and you're not planning on closing it until December. You buying it in 2026 and you're not planning on exiting until 2029. That is a position trader. You buying and holding for a long time, right? And the thing is, you want to look at this from the right to the left. The traders who make the most amount of money is position traders. Buying and holding. It requires the least amount of work. You put money in, you go about your business. Less stress makes you more money. Then swing trading comes next. Then day trading, and then the scalpers. The scalpers are the peasants. They do a whole lot more, right? But at the end of the day, they really don't make much money. They feel like they are doing something, but they ain't doing shit, right? So you have to determine what type of trader you want to be. Do you want to be a position trader? Do you want to be a swing trader? Do you want to be a day trader, or you want to be a scalper? A scalper is the most exciting, right? But trading is a game of discipline. So a lot of people come into the game and they want to scalp because it gives them action. They can be in, out, in, out, in, out. So they think because they are doing more, they're going to make more money. But it doesn't equate to more money, right? It's like you on a treadmill, you're not going anywhere. You feel like you're moving, but you're not going anywhere, right? So my recommendation is find a sweet spot between swing trading and position trading. Take your time, be selective, wait for the right setups, let it come to you, and then you execute. You with me?